flash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well. coming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us once again here on Next Gen Racing Productions. Sunday morning, you know what that means. Sunday Hangover Indycar League. That's right. If you haven't guessed it already, we have made the jump across the pond. Find ourselves over at the great racing facility here in Monza. This will be the Italian Grand Prix for these Sunday Hangover IndyCar League drivers. We have already got cars out on track beginning their outlaps. Looks like the 99 of Ben Wallace has been able to join us once again. Ben has been out taking care of some real life racing. So can't fault him for not being on track. Now that we seem to have the audio coming in, we can continue things watching Ben make his return here to the great racing facility at Monza in Italy. Man, I absolutely love this track. We do have a lot of drivers out on track already. Rick Kelball also out on track in the 24, the 64 of Rick Lovison, Robert Mitchell in the 31, Chad Pearson the 19, Jason Lowe, Stephen Harding, newcomer, first time out here with the Sunday Hangover IndyCar League, so we'll give him a little bit of time to shine if he can. Watch him going down this straightaway, coming to the S's at Ascara, and these can be some pretty tricky curbings right here if you don't hit them just right. Want to stay not really on them, but right up on them. No? Okay. Anyways, a lot of other drivers also out on track. I am Keeman in the 60, Ryan Bowles in the 25, also out on track. Looks like Ben Wallace has turned in a time already, but that's just his outlap. Does have the fastest outlap of everybody on track so far. So look for that 99 of Ben Wallace to make a big return, trying to put his car up there on the provisional pole for today's 40-lap race here. Sort of a mini Italian Grand Prix for these Sunday Hangover IndyCar League Series drivers. Checking the timing and scoring, and it looks like Ben Wallace still holding on to that fastest outlap, so he was wasting absolutely no time getting out there. Riding on board with Stephen Harding as he makes his way down once again into the corners of Ascara. This will be his first time lapping. He blew the corner, goes wide there. That's going to erase this time lap for him. Unfortunately, he's going to have to go around again. So we'll see if we can't jump on board with another driver. How about we go back here to Robert Mitchell in the 31 machine. He is just now making his way to the chicane at Ascara. Ben Wallace in the 99 has put down the fastest lap. He will have the provisional pole as we have a little under a minute and a half left to go before we set our grid, and only 3 make that 4 drivers with a timed lap so far. Ben Wallace still on pole. Second is Scott Kirchner in the 00. Jason Lowe in the 004 in third. Fourth, Ryan Bowles in the 25. Where will Ben Wallace shake out as he crosses the line? He is not going to have enough time to make it back across the line, and now multiple drivers finishing their laps. Robert Mitchell in 5th. Ben Wallace still on pole. The 19 of Chad Pierce has made a time lap. Rick Kelbaugh also with a time lap. Nobody else out on track. So I believe qualifying is going to start to come to an end as we have 35 seconds left to go before we begin our Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. And as nobody else is going to have time to put down a lap to do anything with the leaderboard, we're going to step away for a real quick minute. We'll be right back before we go green flag racing here at Monza on Next Gen Racing Productions.
Oh, hi. What's your name? Hi, Marcia. I almost erased you. I was going to draw a car. You do? But you're a... Well, I don't know. A racing driver? Well, we can make that happen.
Thanks for sticking with us for that quick commercial break before we begin our 40-lap Italian Grand Prix for the Sunday Hangover Indycar League. And we are set to go racing. We'll bring you the grid show here, starting pole position for today's race, the 99 of Ben Wallace. Coming in second, the 00 of Scott Kirchner. Coming in third, the 004 of Jason Lowe, followed by the 25 of Ryan Bowles. Row number 3, Robert Mitchell in the 31, and the 64 of Rick Lovison. Row number 4, the 24 of Rick Kelbaugh, and the 19 of Chad Pierce. Row number 5, the 60 of I.M. Keeman, and the 75 of A.J. Burton. In 11th position, the 101 of Graham Bunyan, followed by the 15 of Danny J. Starting 13th, the 306 of Will Stearns. And in 14th, the 10 of Mike West. Rounding out your field for today's Italian Grand Prix, Stephen Harding in that 71 machine. There you see, yellow has been displayed. Pace car lights are off. We will be bringing this field to the green flag this time by. Man, oh man, this is gonna get good. Going to be a little bit of a different beast for these drivers out here today. Ovals are the forte. They have been to Watkins Glen earlier this year. This is the second road course race. And next up, we head to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for a double points race that could be huge after an iconic race like this in the point standings. Graham Bunyan sitting decent. This race and next week's double point race could change everything up there at front, looking overhead of that 99 of Ben Wallace as the pace car is slowly bringing this field around. It will duck off this time. There it goes. And green flag is out at Monza, and we are underway. Ben Wallace crossing the line comfortably already. A little bit of a gap, and things are going to start happening quick with a lot of these drivers into turn one. There you see the backup in that first chicane. Too wide. Some drivers running off course just a little bit. We're going to watch as much of the field as we possibly can as things start to settle themselves out. Scott Kirchner all over that gearbox up front. Kirchner with a move off of the exit of the chicane down into the first Lesmo. Is there contact? No. Gets the job done on that inside. Now he's to the point. Ben Wallace has to concede the spot. Come through Lesmo number 2 up here towards this long straightaway in chicane into Escara. Then we're going to see who can put the power down off of Parabolica here on turn lap number 1, I should say, not turn number 1. Through Escara cleanly is Scott Kirchner. Ben Wallace with a little bit of loss of time there behind him, falling in the clutches of that 004 of Jason Lowe. Ryan Bowles right there as well. I am Keeman, your top 5, all within about 1 second. Robert Mitchell in 6th. Lurking in the distance right there in the background behind him is A.J. Burton, followed by Graham Bunyan. Move for the lead at the line. Who's it going to be? I believe they gave it to Kirchner that time, but Ben Wallace is going to take the position going back down into the first set of chicanes. Close it up good enough. Everybody cleanly through the first chicane. Off and around Curva Grande now for Ben Wallace. He will head into the second chicane here. Scott Kirchner falling back through the, well, not through the field, but falling back just a little bit. And maybe, I think there may have been contact somewhere along the line with Chad Pierce and Rick Kelball. Both of those drivers have already hit pit road. Something must have happened with them. We'll have to get with race control a little bit later to confirm that incident. Trying to look through it, and I don't see anything involving those two drivers, so maybe they just decided to hit pit road early. Maybe they knew they couldn't make it the full 40 on fuel, as there will be no yellow flags here. Road course racing rules are enforced. Battle for 3rd and 4th. I am Keeman takes the position away from Jason Lowe. Ryan Bowles right there as well. And Ben Wallace is stepping away from the field with a comfortable lead now, 1.6 seconds. So we're going to shift a little bit further back in the field, watch a little bit more of this crazy race in action still going on here. We are only on lap number 3. What is going to happen, as we've got our eye right now on that 25 of Ryan Bowles. He's making his way around the track, trying to track down that 75 of A.J. Burton. Kicking up dust through the chicane there are some of these IndyCar drivers, and I wonder just how well these tires are going to maintain here for these drivers. How many of them have the skill set for road course racing? A course this large, this fast. Great shot of all these drivers coming right to you. I am Keeman making a move now on Jason Lowe. Completes the pass with ease down here through Parabolica. Now Jason Lowe has to worry about that 75 of A.J. Burton, who is right on his gearbox. Now making a move, to the outside of Keeman. And Burton outbreaks Keeman into the first chicane to take the 3rd position away. Just like that, 2 positions, 1 straightaway in a corner. This is your closest battle going on track right now. The rest of the field has started to put a little distance between themselves and the driver they are near. Jason Lowe, and that 04 starts to lose a little ground now. Battle still between Keeman and Burton. That is for third and fourth position on track. Looking just from above Keeman's cockpit here, looking at Burton. He's going to get right on the gearbox as they make their way down here to, I believe this will be a Scara that they're, no, that is not. That may be maybe the first Lesmo. Yes, no, that was Parabolica. See, I'm even lost on track, and I know this track like the back of my hand. Anyways, Burton still keeping that third position away from Keeman. Will Keeman make a move here into turn one? No, he doesn't. Going to stay just right there on that gearbox, though. Not going to go anywhere. Going to keep the pressure on. Field still working their way through the chicane around Lesmo number one. Ben Wallace now, your distance, your lead is above the 3-second mark over Scott Kirchner. So looking at some of the Chad Pierce must have had another incident. He is back on pit road for an extended stay now. Issues with Pierce today at Monza, not good. You can see some tracks there through the gravel trap. So somebody has made an off-track excursion. I would lend myself to say that may have been that 19 of Chad Pierce. He is on pit road fixing damage for a long time now. Ben Wallace with a 3.5-second lead over Scott Kirchner. Looks like pit delta will be around the 30-second mark or so, as we've got to move for that third position again. Keeman looks to the inside going into Parabolica. He's going to have the position. Can he keep it down on exit? Looks like he's going to be able to, but that's going to allow Burton the slipstream coming back down this long front stretch. Position goes to Keeman at the line, but move being made now by Burton back to the outside. Who's going to outbrake who? Down into the first chicane. Side by side. Oh, and Keeman with a great defensive line on the inside to have that outside lane on the second half of that chicane. That's going to allow him to step away just slightly over Burton now, making their way around Curva Grande and back into the second chicane. Slowly but surely, these drivers have started to close the gap between themselves and Kirchner. And A.J. Burton, looking at timing and scoring, he's kind of off. Not A.J. Burton, Ben Wallace, I do apologize, your race leader. Trying to keep an eye on this battle here, but your race leader right here, Ben Wallace, he is within about 20 seconds or so from beginning to put cars a lap down here at Monza, already working lap number 6 of 40. So long race to go, and Wallace putting on a pace to be reckoned with. Gonna go back and join this battle, however, for the third and fourth position. Graham Bunyan in fifth, just behind these drivers. He's been trying to make his way up through the field. Jason Lowe in that 004 has fell back to sixth. Ryan Bowles in seventh. Robert Mitchell in eighth. Stephen Harding in ninth, and rounding out your top 10 right now, the 64 of Rick Lovison. Also on pit road this time by Danny J, being shown one lap down, but maybe he's making his one and only pit stop, as Rick Kelball in the 24 is being shown the last car on the lead lap, but he has pitted once so far in this race. 7 laps in. Don't know what the drivers are thinking about as far as fuel, so we'll just have to keep an eye on those things happening right here. And I believe Danny J may have had an incident. He is on pit road for an extended stay. Unfortunately, that 15 had an incident. Weren't able to catch it. Do apologize. Trying to keep my eye on as much as I possibly can. We watched the 25 of Ryan Bowles. Nobody really around him. Robert Mitchell back in the distance, almost 4 seconds behind him. So your closest battle on track still between Scott Kirchner and I Am Keeman. Also, Mike West, Rick Lovison. Oh, and Mike off track there. He gets it collected and going back in the right direction down the short chicane. Here into Escara. And Rick Lovison all over him, 0.6 of a second. That can be made up in one corner here at a track like Monza. Stephen Harden just in front of these drivers. They say just in front, but that is about an 8-second. I do apologize. 8-second time difference between Stephen Harden and Mike West. The 10 rounding out your top 10. Battle up front now between second and thirds. I Am Keeman and Scott Kirchner. Keeman stepped away from Burton and has caught Kirchner and passed him. Kirchner may be struggling just a little bit now. We are 8 laps into this 40-lap race this Sunday morning here on Next Gen Racing Productions, bringing you the Sunday Hangover Indycar League here at Monza. Battle for second has not went away. Scott Kirchner trying to take the position back away from I Am Keeman, who has found some great pace later on in the run. 10 laps in, 9 laps, I do apologize. 9 laps in to this 40-lap race here at Monza, and I wonder who's screaming about tires just yet as you see your race leader Ben Wallace go into the second chicane. Race leader Ben Wallace, he's going to start coming up on some lap traffic here very, very shortly. We try to bring you some great shots from around this great racing facility. There you see, just in front of your race leader Ben Wallace, a lapped car. I believe that is the 24 of Rick Kelball. Not a lap down just yet, as I believe Danny J has made his way back off of pit road after an extended stay. Kelball stays to the right, out of the way. Now the rest of the field is going to have to try to get by Kelball. What will they be able to do when they get to them? Will Kelball simply move and obey the blue flag, or will he try? Oh, and around goes Keeman. We've got cars stopped, carnage here. Drivers still coming through. Oh my goodness, let's take a look back from Keeman. Looks like Kelball may have overcooked that entry just a little bit. Try to take a better look here, see what happened. Oh, and into the corner, and around goes the 60 one more time. There's the contact, and around those drivers go. One final look at it from the blimp cam here, and just clips him, sends him back into the track. He wisely backs up out of the way. Other drivers make their way through it. Yellow flag, local yellow was displayed, but I Am Keeman, his race has now been compromised, to say the least. There you see him going down pit road. That's going to give that second spot to this man right here on screen, Scott Kirchner. And that 00, 75 of A.J. Burton now slotted in third. Fourth goes to the 101 of Graham Bunyan. Running in fifth, the 004. I always want to say 04, but it's the 004 of Jason Lowe in the Naked Clown ride. And I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to jump on board up here with your race leader, Ben Wallace. Going to go through, do some driver highlights and spotlights. Ben Wallace, absolutely blazing pace out here today for him, running in first with a very comfortable lead, almost an 8-second lead. Now, as we work lap number 11 out of 40, back in the second spot, this is the 00 of Scott Kirchner, who is under fire right now from the man running in third, AJ Burton in the 75, trying to get the spot away. AJ started near the rear of the field all the way in 10th and has had a great drive up through the field to take third, now looking to take second spot away. We're going to stay with this battle for just a moment. Pass is made. Burton up to second. Running in fourth, the 101 of Graham Bunyan. Graham also starting at the rear of the field and has had an exceptional drive to go up and take the fourth position. Jason Lowe started in third, fell back here to the fifth spot and has maintained ever since. Robert Mitchell in the 31 Velocity Racing Machine. Running in sixth, started fifth. And pretty uneventful day so far here for Mitchell. Have to wonder if his team may be looking at tire or fuel strategy. Ryan Bowles in the 25, also from the Velocity stable of drivers. He finds himself in the 7th spot. Started up in 4th, fell all the way back to 8th, since has gained 1 spot to put himself into the 7th position on track. And after contact being made with the 24 of Rick Kelball, you are on board with the 60 of Ian Keeman, who has went down, got his ride fixed up, and is back out on track, putting down some very fast laps as of right now. Running in the 9th position, though, the 10 of Mike West, gaining a few spots since the start of the race. Mike started in 14th, running in the 9th spot now. Rounding out your top 10, we are with the 64 of Rick Lovison. He started in 6th, has fell back to 10th, the last car being scored on the lead lap. 71 of Stephen Harding is running in the 10th position, but he is the first car 1 lap down here today at Monza. The only car 1 lap down as well. So Stephen with an uphill battle on his hand. However, he has pitted. Some of these drivers have not. Ryan Bowles in the 25. He's going to hit pit road this time. But your leader staying out on track has a 7.5 second lead over AJ Burton. These drivers continuing to click the laps off here at Monza. 13 out of 40, almost to the halfway point. And maybe some strategy going on from that 25 of Bowles. Maybe splitting this race up, knowing he can. And just as I mentioned that, AJ Burton to pit road, Scott Kirchner to pit road. That's going to allow Graham Bunyan. He's going to come down pit road. A lot of drivers hitting pit road. Robert Mitchell coming around. He's going to hit pit road as well. Your race leader, Ben Wallace, has been on pit road. All the drivers, amazingly, have decided to come down pit road. There you see your race leader, Ben Wallace, exiting. I believe this is Burton that is exiting now as well. There goes Kirchner. There goes Graham Bunyan. Drivers also staying out on track still. Things are going to get interesting here for sure in the next few moments. The next 2 or 3 laps are going to determine where the rest of this field shakes out, as it looks like Ben Wallace still being scored as your race leader. AJ Burton will move to second. I am Keeman all the way back up to the 3rd position after that incident involving the 24 of Rick Kelball. Heck of a recovery by him. A little bit of luck. That pit stops were just around the corner. Rick Lovison, however, in that 64, just now coming to pit road. Last car to hit pit road, so his tires will be a little bit fresher than the rest of your fields here at Monza. Ben Wallace, your race leader, has gained about a 1.5 seconds through that pit cycle. And oh, trouble up front. I believe that may have been I Am Keeman with some more trouble. Oh boy. What did I do? I hit the button to try to find that, and it is not there. So what we'll do here, we're just going to go back up with your race leader as he's working himself into lap traffic again. Down and around, I believe that was the 64 of Rick Lovison, running in the 10th position, now being scored. The first car 1 lap down, and I Am Keeman has had trouble, and he is packed up in the paddock. No threat, no sweat up here for your race leader, Ben Wallace. AJ Burton now 9.5 seconds behind. And he has got a tall task at hand if he's going to go up here and do anything with this 99 of Ben Wallace. No real battles on track to speak of, besides the possible battles coming up here with your race leader Ben Wallace putting yet another car a lap down. The 10 of Mike West now in danger of being the first car 1 lap down, and that would leave us with only 8 drivers still on the lead lap. Stephen Harding's also right there within the leader's grasp. And if that takes place, we will be halfway through the race with about 7 drivers left on the lead lap. So that just lets you know the torrent pace being laid down lap after this man right here. The 99 of Ben Wallace doing an exceptionally amazing job here today at Monza after being away from the track for 2 weeks, handling some real-life racing commitments and priorities. Here you see he goes by Mike West without a fight, just off in the distance. That is Stephen Harding as well. as well. No, that can't be Ryan Bowles. That's right there in front of Harding. Gap in timing and scoring. Wouldn't allow for that, so gonna have to wait and see once we get up there who that may be. But once again, amazing job, amazing display being put on today here at Monza for race number 8 out of 12 for the Sunday Hangover IndyCar League on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. If it's got wheels and you think you can drive it, they got it. Every track and car laser scanned for precision, dynamics, physics, all of that taken into account. Real racing drivers use this simulator. This is not a game. It is a simulator. Anyways, if you haven't already, go check out iRacing.com. Jump on, get behind the wheel, see if you can manage to tackle Monza the way this man, the 99 of Ben Wallace, has been able to do so far here today. Has led 15 out of the 17 laps that have been put into the books out of the 40 scheduled to run here today in the Italian Grand Prix for the Sunday Hangover IndyCar League. Has been an absolute fabulous one so far. Now 8 cars on the lead lap, and Ben Wallace is not done. He seems to be a man on a mission. He has some points to make up now behind your points leader by 137 points, so a race win this week will do wonders for him. But he is also going to have a great race next week when we go back across the pond, back to where these drivers may be a little bit familiar to the banks. In the middle of the desert, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That's where the double points race is going to be at next Sunday morning. Join us once again here on Next Gen Racing Productions for all of your Sunday Hangover IndyCar League races. And man, as a matter of fact, check us out tomorrow night. We will be up in the booth with KR Stuffles over on Turn 3 Racing Network, bringing you the season finale for a Super Speedway Series. OP Racing Super Speedway Series. So that's going to be one heck of a show for the finale as well. And Wallace has just not let up. Now putting Stephen Hardin in the 71, a lap down. Stephen struggling for pace right now as the rest of the field is going to begin to make their way up to him. Everything looks to be okay. Tires don't seem to be too grainy or in trouble. So just pace not there for this 71 machine here at Monza. Going through the field, looking at a couple of drivers. There you see Scott Kirchner. Oh, car goes through the chicane into the gravel trap. Oh my goodness, I believe that was Rick Kelball. No, that was Mike West in the 10 machine. Mike with a big moment there just seconds ago. Oh, and just see right there, just blowing straight through that chicane. We'll look back one more time at this, as that could have been disastrous. Just through the chicane, back through the gravel, keeps it going. Keeps it out of the way. Big moment for him. Graham Bunyan going by after that. Now you see Bunyan trying to catch up to Scott Kirchner. Bunyan into Parabolica. Kirchner working himself down the long front stretch already just in front of them. There you see that 24 Rick Kelball just in front of Kirchner. I am Keeman back behind the wall after some rough, 2 rough incidents. Pretty much ruined his day. And my goodness, I believe that was Stephen Harden who was sitting on track there. We'll have to take a look back real quick. That's who it is, still sitting there. What happened to Stephen? We'll take a look back with your next gen replay here going into the first chicane. Everything seems okay. And just gasses the car up, and it loops around for him there late on the chicane. So one final look at that and see what happens here. There you see it, the tires just breaking traction. One last look. Everything seems okay. Clips the curb just a little bit. Car off balance, and around she goes. He's gonna have to, he sat there for just a while when all that was taking place. Nothing going on up here up front with your race leader, Ben Wallace, now with a 15.7 second lead over the man on screen, the 75 of A.J. Burton, making his way around the track. And Scott Kirchner has closed that distance. Just behind them, you've seen the 24 of Rick Kelball. He's being followed by the 101 of Graham Bunyan. Kelball is being scored in 11th, 2 laps down. Just over halfway here today at Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. And man, there has been some great action, great driving being put on display. A little bit on the curb there. Got to be careful if you're Burton. Kirchner is closing that distance. Too many mistakes, and he will be right on his rear gearbox. Looks like Graham Bunyan is slowly closing in on Kirchner. That gap was right at it, about 6 seconds. Now it is down to 4.7. So Bunyan with an uphill battle still on his hands. However, he has not given up the fight just yet. Ryan Bowles in the 25. He is in the 7th position. Last car on the lead lap, I should say. First car 1 lap down is the 10 of Mike West, running in 8th. And pit stops may be happening soon. If my memory serves me correct, these drivers stayed out on that first stint right around the 14 lap range. And we are coming into 8 laps into this green flag run. So I would be looking to see these drivers hit pit road with about 10 laps left to go, unless it was a fuel strategy. And yes, unless that pit window opened to make it to the end of the race, maybe we won't see any more pit stops. And Scott Kirchner has slowly but surely, he is making his way up to A.J. Burton, now 3.1 seconds behind Burton. Burton 16 seconds behind your race leader, this man on screen. The 99 of Ben Wallace, he has hit the loud pedal since the drop of the green flag and has not looked back. Has led 20 out of the 22 laps here today at Monza, and he is looking to make it a lot more. Nobody even close to being in sight, just off in the distance, barely there after that long straightaway. We had an opportunity to catch just a slight glimpse at a car, couldn't even make out who it was. And that just lets you know the type of pace, the type of speed that this man right here is running today at Monza through the second chicane. Gonna make his way up here to the Lesmos and then down the straightaway towards Oscara for the 24th time here today. And I believe the only person that's going to beat Wallace is Wallace. If he overcooks the corner, being too comfortable, runs off here or there, possibly messes up a potential pit stop, somebody could be right there on his coattails by the end of this thing. So Ben Wallace gonna have to focus. His crew's gonna have to focus. Everything's gonna have to be perfect for him to maintain the race lead. Should these drivers hit pit road again, which I'm not quite so sure they will. Taking a look back through the field, we'll jump back with the 00 of Scott Kirchner as he is running in the third spot, final podium position. Graham Bunyan in the 101 just behind them. He has dropped to 6 seconds behind, so Kirchner stepping away from Bunyan. Back a little further in the field, this man on screen right here, Jason Lowe in the Naked Clown IR18, is running in the 5th spot, doing a great job all race long. And I haven't seen any incidents, any trouble out of the 004, so maybe just a comfortability thing. If I'm remembering correctly, he did say something last week about Monza not really being a great track of his, but yet he finds himself rounding out the top 5, so that's got to be a win all in itself. Robert Mitchell, however, just lurking in the background, about 3 seconds behind Jason Lowe. So if Lowe makes a mistake, Mitchell will be right there to try to capitalize. And Ben Wallace, still leading, has extended that gap even further. Now upwards of 17, almost 18 seconds in front of the second place runner, A.J. Burton. And Ryan Bowles, if he is not careful in the next few laps, may find himself battling to stay on the lead lap, as he is running in the 7th position, a minute and 10 seconds behind your race leader. So Ben Wallace gonna be there momentarily to try to make that pass as well. There you see Stephen Harding. He's stopping just to get out of the way of the 31 of Robert Mitchell. I believe Harding may have made a second pit stop. Yes, he has. Instead of pushing the issue, he was already being shown one lap down. He just kind of yielded without a fight for the 31 of Robert Mitchell, which, I mean, that's kind of the gentleman thing to do. You already know that your race is pretty much done for. You're not racing that 31. Just let them go. So hats off to Stephen Harding and his crew to just give way there. What could have been a very, very bad moment. Looking up through the field, and it looks like, my goodness, they are hitting pit road. Your race leaders hitting pit road. AJ Burton, Scott Kirchner, Ben Wallace, all hitting pit road, so pit stops underway. And that's going to mean, let's look at this driver right here, Stephen Harding, the man I was just speaking about. He came out of pit road, gave up some time there on the front end. Is he going to be able to make up any of that time back? He is being the first car being scored 2 laps down. Should be able to make up one of his laps, as AJ Burton is being scored. Your race leader able to get by Ben Wallace through that pit cycle. Not sure what that's about right there. We're trying to look and see who that was. And Chadwick Pierce with a moment, that's who it was. We'll take a look back real quick, see what happened here. Just really slow yielding to the cars there. That's all that was. So nothing really going on with that. But up here, lead has changed. And now it will be going back, I believe, as AJ Burton's going to have to hit pit road this time. And that's going to put Ben Wallace back to the racing lead once he comes around here and passes Burton. There it is. Back to the point, the 99 of Ben Wallace. Through the first chicane, back around Curva Grande here into the second chicane. So these drivers pitting with about 12 to 13 laps to go. So that's going to be about an entire fuel run once again, I believe. I mean, they did stop at about 11 laps into that last green flag run. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens and what shakes out. Timing and scoring across the screen is still a little out of whack with AJ Burton staying out. That one more lap takes a very long time for it to reset itself when these drivers cross the line. But Ben Wallace will have your race lead. Scott Kirchner will be back in second. AJ Burton will end up in third, but he has closed the distance under 3 seconds to Kirchner. Graham Bunyan in fourth. Jason Lowe, the 004, in fifth. Unfortunately for Ryan Bowles, through that cycle of pit stops, he was not able to gain any distance over the 99 of Ben Wallace, who is just absolutely blazing fast out there here today. 26 laps led out of the 29 being shown in the books. We are close to the 10 lap left to go. When the leader crosses the line this time by, we will have 11 laps left to go in the Italian Grand Prix here on Next Gen Racing Productions. The Sunday Hangover IndyCar League, putting on a fantastic show on the iconic, historic track here in Monza. Ooh, little bit of a moment there, I believe, when the 10 of Mike West was on the inside. That may have caught Ben Wallace off a little bit, may have thought he was going to yield a little bit more. However, the leader does make it by, keeps it going straight. Kirchner now under fire. We're going to take a look back here as this is going to heat up here in the next few laps. A.J. Burton has been able to close that distance to under 2 seconds. He's going to be able to start getting some slipstream and a little bit of aero help getting in to the corners at the end of these long straightaways. Into the first chicane goes Kirchner. Down in through the brakes in the gearbox, locking up that front right tire just a little bit. He's going to make his way through turn number 3. Around Curva Grande. A.J. Burton now 1.7 seconds back. This is the battle for position on track. Everybody else has a pretty good gap in distance between them. Ben Wallace, your race leader, has no troubles to worry about except keeping it on the racing surface. He is 25 seconds in front of your field. That's why we are staying with this battle right here, second and third on track. Burton still closing the distance. Has his sights set in on that 00 of Scott Kirchner, and you can see it on track. The screen right there, you can see it. It's closing. Burton is coming. 1.3 seconds back now from Kirchner. Can Burton get up there and battle for that spot? Graham Bunyan left in the 4th position, 13 seconds behind this battle on track. 9 seconds back to your 5th place runner, the 004 of Jason Lowe. Robert Mitchell, 3 seconds back from him in his 31 machine. And the 25 of Ryan Bowles is right on the cusp of going 1 lap down. Rest of the field, 8th on back, 2 laps down or more. Mike West in 8th, Rick Lovison 9th, Stephen Hardin 10th, Rick Kelball 11th, Chad Pierce 12th, Danny J 13th. 2 drivers gone from the track. Ian Keeman running the 60 machine, ends his day in 14th. 15th spot goes to the 306 of Will Stearns. And here it comes. Here is the race run. Setting it up, judging some distance, not going too overboard. Burton has to be careful of overcooking them tires on the entry here, as he is stalking his prey at the moment. There you see one of our great nose cams looking back up at A.J. Burton as he is making his way up to the gearbox. There we go, turn that camera around for you, and now you see what's out in front of him. There's the rabbit. He's trying to catch it. That is another lap machine just in front of these two battling for position. believe that is the 10 of Mike West. There you see the 64 of Rick Lovison. And that is the 15 of Danny J, just in front of Scott Kirchner and AJ Burton as they go through without any incidents there. This battle is going to be epically awesome here as we work 8 laps to go at Monza, hard into the braking zone for Burton, still on the gearbox of that double O. Can Kirchner keep him at bay? Will Burton take the position away? We'll find out here as we are winding the laps down. 40 scheduled here for the Italian Grand Prix. We have 8 laps left. Multiple pit stops being made by the entire field here today. 2 stops seems to be the right strategy. Handful of other drivers needed a little bit more pit stops. Fix some issues, fix some damage. Nonetheless, 15 started the race, 13 still out there on track, 6 left on the lead lap. And no matter how good that 99 Ben Wallace is, I do not think he's going to put any more cars a lap down. He'd have to get about 30 seconds here in the last 7 laps to put Robert Mitchell a lap down. So I just don't think he's going to do that. I think we're going to end up here with 6 cars on the lead lap at the end of this thing. And AJ Burton making the move finally to the inside, going down into the first set of chicanes. Will Kirchner look to make a move back? No, he doesn't. He stays just behind them. Lap cars just up in front. Burton with a great run outside line for Curva Grande. Coming all the way around and up into the second chicane. They're going to have to deal with the 10 of Mike West here momentarily. Mike is being shown 1 lap down, 2 laps down, I should say now. First car being shown 2 laps down. Moves out of the way here on the stretch through the Lesmos to give those 2 drivers the space they need to race and run. And I don't think they're done with lap traffic just yet, so that's going to come into play multiple times, I do believe, here in the closing stages for this battle for 2nd and 3rd. Another battle beginning to develop on track here towards the end of the race. Jason Lowe has Robert Mitchell right on his gearbox now. So gonna jump back and forth between these 2 great battles that are developing with 6 laps left to go here in Monza for the Italian Grand Prix, presented to you by Sunday Hangover IndyCar League on iRacing.com. And something must have happened. Ben Wallace on pit road. What has happened here? We're going to take a look. 6 laps left to go. Ben Wallace hits pit road. Didn't see any incident or anything, but that's going to shake things up, as Ben is now about 5 seconds behind your race leader, AJ Burton. So that battle that was for 2nd and 3rd is now for 1st and 2nd. Will they decide to hit pit road, or has Ben Wallace made a miscalculation? Oh my. Late race implications here once again on Sunday Hangover IndyCar League. Man, this Italian Grand Prix is full of surprises. AJ Burton staying out on track as of right now. This is live as he is going to make his way, I believe, into Parabolica. That's where he's at right now. Will he hit pit road this time by to try to cover up the move by that 99? of Ben Wallace. No, he doesn't. He's going to stay out. Kirchner is going to stay out as well. But there you see him, Ben Wallace, just in your background, 4 seconds behind. Your race leader has made an extra pit stop. He did have some time built up for him. Almost an entire pit delta, so he's going to have the freshest tires, but he's not got a lot of time to get it done here at Monza. So we're going to start focusing a little bit more on where this 99 of Ben Wallace is running. Unfortunately, he has been the race leader all race long, hasn't had all the airtime maybe he wanted. Decided to make something exciting happen here. Late in the race, he's going to go for a run here. He has now closed the distance to just under 5 seconds. I believe it's going to shake out to beat Robert Mitchell. Not able to get by Jason Lowe just yet. That gap has extended itself pretty significantly, so we're going to keep our eye right here, right up front. These drivers, A.J. Burton, Scott Kirchner, Ben Wallace, all running in the top spots prior to Wallace making an extra pit stop. 5 laps left to go here at Monza. Now 4 as Burton crossed the line. Does Wallace, and Wallace is hitting pit road again. And he is pulling over and getting out of his machine. Wallace, furious with the team strategy, called back into the paddock and retiring the race car. Unfortunate circumstance for that 99 crew and team. Absolutely the class of the field here today at Monza, and unfortunately mechanical issues and error is going to cause that 99 of Ben Wallace to drop quite a few positions by the end of this thing. And A.J. Burton sitting pretty, smelling like roses right now. 4 laps, 3 more to go when he crosses the line. But anything is possible. Anything can happen. As just off in the distance, you do see that 00 of Scott Kirchner. If anything should happen to your race leader, A.J. Burton, Kirchner will be right there to jump all over it. But the pace in the distance is growing between the 75 of Burton and Kirchner running in second. Gap is extending still for the 75 of A.J. Burton over the 00 of Scott Kirchner. So I believe, barring any major incidents, we're going to have our podium sorted out here already at Monza. We're going to go ahead and show you your top 5 running here today, brought to you by Sunday Hangover Indycar League here on iRacing.com, as well as Haywood Elite Youth Wrestling Club of Bethel, North Carolina. Season's getting ready to crank up. Let's go. Lap 39 out of 40, your top 5 is this. The 75 of A.J. Burton running in first. In second, the 00 of Scott Kirchner running in third. The 101 of Graham Bunyan, followed in fourth by the 004 of Jason Lowe. Rounding out your top 5, the 31 of Robert Mitchell. And man, there's not much left going on track. Looking for your race leader through our chopper cam here. Sometimes the helicopter loses the car going through portions of the track with the foliage here on site at this great racing facility. Absolutely love every time I get to come to Monza and watch any racing, and these IndyCar drivers have done just a crazy, fantastic job out here at a very fast, very, very good racing facility, Monza. And man, A.J. Burton going to inherit a win here. After Ben Wallace in the 99 crew, they had some mechanical issues and failures. Had to box and retire the car. He is going to find himself all the way back outside of the top 10 in 11th spot. And A.J. Burton in the 75 is going to sit pretty on top of the podium, barring any incidents. Stephen Harden just moving out of the way, letting Burton by. And he is going to take this 75 machine back around the rest of this track. Looking through the field, no real battles on track to really go over and show, so we're going to stick here with the 75 as he's making his way through. I believe this is Escara. Yes, it is. He's going to make his way down the short chute into Parabolica for the last time and cross the line. Your race leader, your race winner, you're looking at him. One corner left to go for Burton. Around Parabolica, clean and smooth. There you have it, your race winner. The 75 of A.J. Burton. Back through the field, here is Scott Kirchner. He is coming around into Parabolica now, I believe. Yes, he is. He is going to be your second place finisher for today's Italian Grand Prix. Oh, easy on exit. Need to finish this thing to finish in second. Graham Bunyan here coming around Parabolica. He's going to be your third place driver. A little bit further through the field. Here you see that 004 of Jason Lowe, and the last car on the lead lap still making his way through Escara and down to Parabolica. Robert Mitchell, he's going to round out the top 5. So a heck of a job for all of the drivers out there today, and this man gets to celebrate all he wants. Man, oh man, A.J. Burton with a great win. So as he goes around the track, we're going to step away momentarily to set up our post-race interviews here at Monza. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Next Gen Racing Productions. welcome back. Thanks for joining us for our post-race interviews here today. And man, oh man, what a great race by your race winner, AJ Burton, doing a fantastic job walking away with the race win. And we're going to see if we can't get in a quick word with AJ now. So he's had a chance to enjoy his win and race around the track. AJ, man, great race, great win. How you feeling, bud?
Pretty good. I'm actually surprised at that. I turned up today, hadn't done any practice, and didn't know how it was going to race, what kind of fuel strategy would work out in the race, and yeah, kind of fortunate that I got it right on strategy, because I know a couple of other guys were a bit quicker, and obviously they got the strategy wrong, and that allowed me to take the victory.
Well, I mean, you always love to win a race, but does winning a race like Monza at such a historic, iconic track, does it do anything more than, say, winning at Texas?
I wouldn't say so for me. Like, I don't mind what the track is when I win. I have my favourites and others that I'm not such a big fan of, but it's just, to me, it's just another racetrack. I know it's got all the history and stuff, but for an IndyCar, it's not an IndyCar track, so it's no different to me than any other track, really, at the end of the day.
That's a pretty good approach to have. I mean, at the end of the day, a track's a track. It doesn't matter. You know, you got to race it whether you like it or not. So, I mean, it kind of is what it is, huh?
Yeah, it's a unique challenge, though, for this series, because obviously we're at ovals 90% of the time, and I know we've done Watkins a few times. And this, I think, is the first time we've been to Monza, so it's good to do a different track that people aren't used to, that's in a different continent. Like, it's the first European race we've done, so there is that side to it.
All right. At what point in time did you realize that the strategy was working and the race was in the bag?
I probably didn't realise I was going to be in contention to win until after the second pit stop. Obviously, I committed on the second stint to save fuel. We were a lap short if we ran flat out, so obviously had to save the fuel somewhere. So I chose the second stint, and obviously I came out a good 25 seconds behind Ben. But then once I realised that he was pulling away and wasn't actually saving fuel himself, I was like, I've got a chance here. He's going to have to pit again, or he's going to have to save... Well, he wasn't saving fuel, so he would have had to pit again, and ultimately he did, and he came out 10 seconds behind, and I think that was... Yeah, that was it in the bag at that point.
All right. Well, man, congratulations. Great job once again on your race win. Do you think this is going to give you any momentum going into next week's double point race at Las Vegas?
I wish I said it could, but unfortunately I don't think I can race next week. I have other engagements to do, so probably going to miss that one, which is going to be a bit annoying, because obviously double points would be a help in the championship. I know I'm a bit behind the others because obviously I've missed a few races, so this would have been a chance to get back into it, but I guess I'll have to run harder later in the season.
All right, man. Well, AJ, once again, great finish, great win, great race for you all day long. Before we let you go, I'd like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that to anybody watching or that will watch?
Yeah, just thanks to everyone who turned up again. I know some of the guys are unfamiliar with road courses, especially Monza, but they gave it their best. Obviously, Robert for putting together another great race, and New Day for broadcasting. It's good to have it. Really enjoy watching them back, so guess I'm going to enjoy tonight's one even more.
All right, AJ, well, we will catch up with you next week at Vegas.
No, you won't. Probably the one after.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said you... Yeah. You knew what I meant. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Cheers, Dave.
There you have it. That was your race winner, AJ Burton. Oh man, oh man. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Second place, Scott Kirchner. Not seeing him around the paddock right now, so we're gonna skip over to this man on screen right here now. If I can manage to do it, we're going to get a hold of Graham Bunyan. Graham, what's up, my man?
Oh man, I don't know. I've got lady luck on my side again. Poor old Ben. I don't know what happened there. Obviously a fuel strategy problem.
Yeah, you looked like you had pretty much an uphill battle on your hands out there all race long. So yeah, you definitely got a horseshoe or two.
Yeah, look, I had a good car. I had an issue on the after the first pit stop. Come up to some slow traffic in turn 7, which then put me out wide, which gave me a little bit of floor damage down the left-hand side. I'd hit the ripple strip pretty hard and using a lot more fuel than what I would have liked to have used, so I had to slow right down. So I dropped off, and I think I was like about 2.5 seconds off the pace, and I still, at the last stint, still had to save a heap of fuel just to make it to the end. It was just insane. But otherwise, other than that, it was a good race. Good outcome, coming third. Good outcome for AJ, and again, just bad luck for Ben there.
Well, Grant, with now only 4 races left, you're going to have a pretty comfortable lead over the second place runner in the points right now, Robert Mitchell. Jason Lowe's just behind him. You were able to finish on the podium yet again with 4 races being left, one of them a double points race. Are you still worried about the points lead?
Oh, look, that double point track could change anything. I think I need to win that one. If I don't win that one and second place gets there and takes the win, I think it's going to be down to the wire by the end of the season.
10-4. So for you, your team, and your crew, a lot of the season will hinge off of next week at Vegas.
Definitely. I need to have a good finish there. It's it's going to be feast or famine. That's where it's going to be. That's where the championship will be decided, I think, to come down to probably the last race of this season.
All right. Well, that means next week should be some fun and some fireworks for us up here in the booth. So look forward to that. And man, Grant, once again, one heck of a race, heck of a job putting it on the podium yet again here in the Sunday Hangover Indycar League. So great job once again. Would you like to give anybody a shout out, thank you, love you before we let you go?
Yeah, look, once again, everybody, big shout out to the podium, AJ and Scott. Great race, great game. I think if I had got up at about a lap or 2 earlier, I would have got Scott at the end, but anyway, that is what it is. My poor little buddy Denny ended up getting a massive big nosebleed in his helmet, so his helmet's all splattered with blood, so he couldn't continue. So, poor old Mike there, just trottling around doing his thing and enjoying the scenery. But once again, thanks to everybody putting it on, doing the things, and you guys up there in the wherever it is in radio land, TV land, doing your job. Excellent stuff.
All right. Well, we do appreciate it, Graham. We'll catch up with you here at Vegas.
I tell you, I've been listening to too much of Stephen Harding. I tell you, mate.
I'm at a loss for words. I'm just gonna leave that at that. How about that one?
No worries, Dave. Thank you very much.
Well done, Graham, and we'll catch up with you later.
Cheers, buddy.
There you have it. That was your third place finisher, rounding out the podium here today for the Sunday Hangover IndyCar League's Italian Grand Prix. And what a race it was. Fuel strategy coming into play late in the race through all parts of the race. As you heard your race winner, AJ Burton, say he chose to save that fuel on the second stint. That's why he stayed out that one extra lap. Put him where he needed to be. So great job by him and his team, his crew, getting the job done, getting that 75 in victory lane and on top of the podium position. And not much left to do here from us in the booth at Next Gen Racing Productions, except bring you your finishing order for today's Italian Grand Prix. Race winner, the 75 of AJ Burton, followed in second by the 00 of Scott Kirchner. Rounding out your podium was the 101 of Graham Bunyan. Jason Lowe in the 004 finishes fourth. Rounding out your top 5 in the last car on the lead lap, the 31 of Robert Mitchell. 6th place, the 25 of Ryan Bowles. 7th goes to the 10 of Mike West. 8th position, the 64 of Rick Lovison, followed in 9th by the 71 of Stephen Harding. Finishing 10th today, the 24 of Rick Kelball. In 11th, the 99 of Ben Wallace. 12th goes to the 19 of Chad Pearson. 13th, the 15 of Danny J. 14th position goes to the 60 machine of I Am Keeman. Rounding out your field for today's Italian Grand Prix, presented to you by the Sunday Hangover Indycar League, was the 306 of Will Stearns. And there you have it. That's it. Man, what an absolutely great race. I enjoyed every bit of it here today. So these drivers, once again, putting on one heck of a show. Next week, we will head off into the double points race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. These drivers will be back in their element on the oval course, ready to tear some up. And I can't wait to get there and bring you the action. So we're going to start to roll up the cords. Thank you once again for joining us here on Next Gen Racing Productions. If you haven't already, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Let myself and these drivers, more importantly, know you appreciate and like all the racing action that they bring you each and every Sunday morning here on iRacing.com, the Sunday Hangover IndyCar League. Well, that's that. We're going to leave you with a bit of a commercial, and join us a little bit later tonight here on Next Gen Racing Productions, as we're going to bring you a little bit different action than what you may be used to seeing from us. So, yeah. Get ready for that. We'll see you later. Thanks for joining us once again.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.